Hello everyone, I'm Long. Thank you to all friends for watching. In this teaching session, I'm going to introduce an application that combines RAG and the latest LLM for how to interact with documents. This is to create a local PDF checkbox. This is something everyone can try and play with and carry out the evaluation and landing application. This is an application developed using the latest LLM technology and enhanced content retrieval generation to enhance how we interact with documents. This trade with PDF usually refers to a certain application technology, allows users interact with PDF files through this chat interface. This technology can be applied in many scenarios, such as customer support, education, business processes, or the need to quickly extract from the PDF document. To get content on this occasion, firstly, in the automated part of the customer automation what can you search through this chatbot? Query the PDF document. Specific information includes how to use manuals, policy documents, or contract terms. This can speed up the query to improve the customer experience. The second one, in the educational application students or teachers can inquire specific content definitions, explanations, or examples in textbooks or academic papers through this chat interface. In the part of work efficiency tools, in our corporate context, where are our colleagues and employees? You can quickly check the company's policy manual through this chat interface. Operating guides for various systems or SOP or PDF files related to other work. To improve work efficiency. Of course, then, we can also provide accessible support. Can be for visually impaired personnel. Combining the speech recognition part we taught before through parsing voice instructions and interacting with PDF documents. Make the content easier to access and understand. Basically, what we learned before can cook a lot of services, but it's only in this part of the accessible support. You need to spend more time. Okay, next we will explain the train with PDF flow from the process diagram. We can know more clearly the flow of Travis PDF from the user's start to the final result. The technical part we talked about is actually different from the AG we mentioned before, just in terms of data source. Comes from this PDF file. Our previous organized QA comes from. You process this directly from the Excel file. This time it starts from the PDF. Then set it directly from the PDF, each one. The parameters of Zadig, including the parameters inside including whether overlapping is needed between each batch, overlapping settings, and so on. How many bytes do you want to scan each time? Let's briefly explain the whole process first. Initially, users upload PDF documents. We will perform parsing first, embedded into our fourth step. The vector library inside here comes. Then, users, You can do QA. So we will also turn the user's QA into this vector for the database to do similarity matching. That is to say, to do this retrieval and perform retrieval. After the retrieval is done. Actually, I can go and do it. The seventh step, fold Lulu link. Well, basically, after we rank completed, we will send it here to LM to perform the overall answer. Then remove irrelevant sections and extract the content we need through the LM's abilities. And then send it back to the user. Here we mentioned in this eighth step. We process the original mixed question content through this SN for question retrieval and then organize answers together for SN. And through the ability of LM, the irrelevant maps and relevant information are extracted and returned. This is very important. Everyone remember first. So, actually, we are at the eighth step here. Sit here. We mix the original question content with the retrieval content and hand it over to M for organizing. Then in this part, we need to have an understanding. So you should know if you are dealing with Chinese. We should have a cognition in our hearts. Maybe this is not to pick the newest LLM. Maybe choose an LLM that can understand Chinese better. This is more important. If we only choose the newest models, just like us this time, choosing Llama3 is likely to lead us into our misconception. On the contrary, everyone can try different models again. For example, this Chinese translation spit over MediaTek's Breeze, or the National Council of Science and Technology verifies through examples to validate the idea in your mind. Then I'll explain further. What are we doing this time? No special implementations here. Are you interested? You can also look it up. We didn't mention this part here. This part is in the travel link, and this part. What about this part? Can improve retrieval performance or accuracy. Such a good technology. Then everyone can. If you are interested, you can go and check out this LNK technology first. So we interact with this PDF from here. We usually rely on two links after one another. Is the part of natural language processing. Then the next part is retrieval. Alright, what about them? This retrieval involves pre-processing these documents. It's also this part 1 and 2. Okay, then the final finance will generate semantic understanding through and generate models. Related content responses. Well, I believe you already understand. So let's discuss why we need to create a local PDF push next. You don't need online free, do you? Why spend more time, manpower, and material resources to get a location? I believe this is also a question in many people's minds. If you are an individual, it should be fine to use whatever. If you are a business, your supervisor, boss, or the information unit will definitely not agree. You will take the company's data, especially the data of residents, send it outside for processing. So the main thing is still the consideration of information security. Next, of course, it's cost considerations, although it's free outside. But there's no free lunch in the world. Some are to let you use it for free for the first few times. Including the space that may be used is also limited. Finally, you will still have limited usage access. Next, there may be a bunch of ads or web pages popping up. Easily get kidnapped or something like that. You will still need to decide whether to spend money to subscribe on your own site, planning, and so on. Through today's course, you can have a better understanding, even if you don't build it yourself. When evaluating vendors, you know the relevant principles and structures are less likely to be led by manufacturers. Or evaluate suitability. You will feel more secure in your heart, right? Alright, then let's go on. Let's demonstrate directly the whole process of user operation in screen. This is the user operation we designed. The taste of a top student is a PDF page, and it's very simple. Its structure is to provide a component for users to upload a PDF input component for uploading. Then we can upload a component next. Then here I upload a machine learning tutorial document. And there are a total of 72 pages in his original. Then I provide it to everyone. Will have 2 files. Then I first fold about half of the small one. The machine learning algorithm for the 31st PDF file, feed it in to test it out. Then users can upload the file here. After entering, the system here will process the meat of this PDF, and his analysis is limited to the cool part. This part here needs a little time, according to the level of your graphics card. Well, its speed time can be faster or slower, because my machine is a GTX 1080 Ti, so it will take longer. So later I will use a quick transfer. After parsing is complete, here will display the saving file indicates completion. It indicates completion. Then what? Under our program directory, 2 directories will appear. One is PDF files. Then this is the file uploaded by the user. Another one is vector DB. It's our cool part of the vector. There will be a vector cool DB placed in here. So when you finish running the program, you can come up. This will help you to do automatic generation. Well, then we can start to ask these simple questions here. For example, please tell me, this one, who is the author of the PDF book? We can do this. Can everyone in this command here? You can go check it out. Here we will also go list out some processes he executed, including this prompt, this format. Then I predict there will be some promotion. You are a chatbot dedicated to enterprises. There are some prompts, and then find the retrieved data will be put into this in the card format. and then it will help me do this, and then recommend it to me. One of them is patterns history, because this is my first question. So here the data is empty. What about here? Obviously, it probably can't find the information I want. Oh, there may be some problems with the resolution here. But no problem. Later we can switch to other models or test the investing model. What about us? Then go ask him a question from a book. Let's take a look. So let's pick a slightly better answer to that. Let's take a look here. Here is one. This SN is good. So what is this KN? Okay, you can go ask him. Then let me ask him here. Can explain to you. Explain. What is this? Send it out. Then do we do the same? If you want to observe, we can also open this command. What about here? You will basically see it. He will still do some retrieval. Put the retrieved data into our promote format contain. So what does it ultimately involve? Go back and do this summer before it's pushed to us. I didn't see it. Actually, we can do it inside Change Prime. It to require Chinese answers every time. Then let me just do the translation first. Okay, it will tell me what this K stands for relative to each part. This is good for classification and regression machine learning algorithms. Then everyone can check it out. And if we look at it here, can he satisfy you? The query needs like this right here. Then everyone can try again. Then next, let's proceed with the introduction of the entire course. So if it's done, here in the directory where our program is located, it will generate two directories. One is the directory where your original uploaded PDF is stored. One is the directory where the vector library is stored. The related diagram part includes our initial part here. How do users interact? Through our string-developed interface. Our users can do the painting. Then upload the PDF file. In the next one series, we will load, read, split, and store text segments into vectors. Then put it into our side's vector library here. Then we will have another place next. Is the retriever used by the Northern Prosecutor's Office good? After the retrieval is complete, we will combine the question and answer chain, handling user query data and returning together from planting in this historical data to generate related information after. We are showing messages here. To the user here. Everyone can take a look at the whole operation process first. Next, the explanation of the following code. If we follow this logic well. Next, let's explain the code. In the code part, first here, Lunton where a lot of cool information is used a lot right here. Then come again. We will determine whether our folder exists. We will create two folders here. One is PDF files. It stores the original file of the PDF files uploaded by our users. Which directory then? This Victor DV is the directory we need for our vector library. Next, we will use the status in the circle of words to record some relevant things that will be used in the city. State, part O, including this first template inside this missing component. This template here. This template. We can see that I will give him a default prompt word in our system. You are an enterprise chatbot. Can help solve users' problems. We can configure the tone here in this place. Okay, we can eat. Please use formal and content to respond to users, and can only find data from the contents below. If it is judged to be unrelated to the user, just reply, I'm not sure about this requirement. Please enter it again when using it. So this is quite an important thing. Ask him to answer from my pants like this. It will produce less probability of delusion and nonsense. Then let's take a look this time. Inside here there is this contact. It is the content of our search that is sent here. Because we are going to do multi-person, multi-turn interactive Q&A. So in our table, we'll also put all the chat history before into here. Then the next is the user's question. Okay, then make sure to answer. This is our pattern. Alright, then we will still make some records here next. This is conversation memory. In the part of conversation records, we will also do it here. Save some of his states. Here we use Llama 3. You can also switch to other models that can specifically sit at the bottom. Go ahead and replace it here. Then we are setting up our big language model here. This is the content we retrieved. Then you have to reply to the user to organize the retrieved content. Adding user queries. Genuine results for the user model. We use Llama 3 here, of course. You can also try to call someone like me. If you lean towards Chinese, you can also change it to this. The Typhoon of MediaTek or the National Science Council. This TAID is where you can do the replacement. Next, let's mention this key part again. What about here? It is the component on the interface that displays and allows users to upload PDF files. So next, we will show the history of chat content. In this place, put it in. Then we will start processing the PDF file we uploaded. So when we throw it in the screen, then it will start showing this saving. Okay, this saving file. Starting to do this spinning action. Now the key point to be discussed next is here. Okay, we used this text segmentation part. There is this crete size 1000 and trunk this part with overlapping 200. So what about this? There is a key point. You can follow the attributes of your documents to make this adjustment. Maybe you can try 500 once and 1000 once. I'll try 1005 times. Okay. A smaller effect may not be bad. Sometimes cutting too long. Your response time will be slower. Okay. Do you allow two of these two retrieval pages to overlap in the middle? This part can also be adjusted according to requirements. Could be 200, it could be 100. Then you can try this effect. Then go and take a closer look at this part to see if it's good or not. Did we mention this part here? This hidden part of the PDF is the hard coin part, right? Here we use the MXPy in large part to do this retrieval. Then I just missed it here. One part to talk about with everyone, because our vectors or EMBAs, we use this model. It is basically recommended that everyone must use the same one. You have been set up like this to have a consistent standard. So I just had a wrong demonstration, Remember, this has been set as a PDF. Then you embed the Q&A data I sent to the front-end user for question and answers. It is also recommended to adopt a consistent approach. Yes, this way there will be no problem. So there won't be any problems. Then, the part we are going to talk about next. The PDA part here has been completed. So next we are going to start the Q&A chain. So what is this part mainly doing? That is, first, we still check whether this Catrain object exists. Then let's do the initialization. What about the code here? What are we mainly doing? It is to create an object of this retrieval QV. And this object? What is this object doing? This object is responsible for handling Q&A. The task of this answer mainly in this place good. Then let's take a look down here, handling user input here. And do the response part, which is the screen where we see the user input box. Is in this place. Okay, then next user. Part of content, here is to use this st point markdown user input what input part to display. After the user input is complete, what will we jump to next? Jump our assistant to answer. So the default is the assistants. The answer will first be displayed here with the assistant typing. And when we come back after collecting data, there will be a loop here to receive until this is us. This data trained back in this question and answer is here in the response. Then we through. After this for loop, read our response resorts. Oh, this creatable, what about here? Just loop it. Uber running. Then we will generate the dynamic we just saw. Real-time O to show O. The effect of this string. What about this module? We have
inside?
4 options to choose from. What about this memory module?
Line O.
It helps us to store the record of this conversation. The common memories are as follows. Today we tried this conversation buffer on the far left. Memory. This part allows memory. Memory stores messages. And the conversation is saved to a variable, mainly to save the dialogue, and extract it at any time. This is what we use most often this time. The second is what is the use of conversation buff window memory. The purpose of this is to maintain a list of interaction effects in our conversation. It only uses the last K interactions. So, what can be the value of the conversation window memory? I can still only record this conversation group will only record the conversation group in hand equaling 2, which means it will record the last 2 groups. This conversation, its purpose is like this. What about the third one? What is this conversation token buffer memory? It retains the buffer of the most recent interactions. And it's the length of using this token, not the number of interactions O. These two are different. This is about the number of dialogues O. This is the length of the conversation. Retain the length of conversation. Also, what are its parameters? It will be with roommates. What is the max token limit that can be set here? Then what about the fourth conversational summary memory? Its purpose, to summarize the records of the previous conversation. Although it looks good, but also need to put another parameter. Is LM. In this situation, it will summarize the previous conversation through this LM. I can save you some space, but you will need some computing power to handle this. What are its benefits to save? This one looks like if you call Church Bees Talker today. Using this may be better. Because of you explained the description of the previous history record. Make it into a summary. Then when you're using this token light, there will be much less. Okay, this is a supplement in the code. I think it's worth mentioning and sharing. The above is today's sharing. Finally, please don't forget to like and share. You can also thank the creator for spending time creating this rich content by using super thanks or joining my channel membership. This is the most substantial help. Goodbye next time. Bye-bye. Let me meet you. The same road, same love, same heart. Thank you for having you as my sister or brother. Wind and rain, we're in the same boat. Sealed petition. Cherish each other.